Sharon Osbourne is one of the most famous female artist managers of our time. She's primarily known for being the wife of Ozzy Osbourne, whose career she's managed since they married back in the 70s. Where it all began for her was she was a child in a musician's home that was a performer that found more opportunity in management than performances. Her dad's name is Don Arden. He's her father, mentor, and ultimately responsible for the legacy of music that she manages today. Her dad started a management firm, and under that management firm, he accomplished a lot of things. Through his management style, he inherited a monster reputation. This reputation is accompanied by stories of him putting cigar butts out on the foreheads of his competitors, huge arguments and fights with promoters and theater owners, dangling executives off of balconies 4 stories high, and multiple violent things, and some may include arson of record companies. Of course, he's denied it over the years, but his reputation has been solid for his aggressive style of management. The management group he founded is ARDEN Management Group, run by his son David and his daughter Sharon. This management group evolved into ownership of Jet Records. Jet Records is the home or former home to Ozzy Osbourne, Olivia Newton-John, Electric Light Orchestra, Shogun, and Bite the Bullet, to name a few. As Sharon began to evolve in her career and grow in the music industry, she began to follow her dad's footsteps. Completely opposite of his management style, but very much in sync with his business savvy and his knowledge of how to get what you want in the music industry. She inherited his relationships and was able to familiarize herself with the gatekeepers of the industry so that she can push her artist career forward. Her first rock band was Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath was an England band that was actually in competition with the Beatles at the time. And Sharon's eye for talent was a bit sharper because Don Arden was said to have passed up the Beatles and never gave it a second thought, only for them to be a worldwide sensation. However, she continued to operate with this group and see their potential, and ultimately saw something special in Ozzy. Ozzy was fired from Black Sabbath. Still under some contractual restraints, she wanted to pursue a solo career for Ozzy. Her father was not in agreement with her pushing Ozzy forward, but she later learned how she could do it. So she purchased his contract from her dad. Now Ozzy Osbourne is under new management, solely under her. Shortly afterwards, the relationship evolves from management to love to engagement and then marriage. She says, "We're like bread and butter. We just go together." So then they are married, and their desires for a family evolve and they grow. So much so that he begins to create his own sound and his own music. And as a result of that, Sharon felt like she needed to get him from under Jet Records and push him forward so that he could have massive success. She saw him being appealing to America and not just in the UK. So she began negotiations with an American label, and was able to free Ozzy from his deal with Jet Records. Sharon was so savvy about this that it came across as betrayal to her dad. And this caused a rift in their relationship for up to 15 years before they ever spoke again. On a lighter note, Ozzy's first record went on to sell 4 million copies while under her management. Sharon has said on several occasions that she felt like Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne were blamed for a lot of the dark days and times among youths when they were injuring themselves and possibly committing suicide. And she's always had a passion to really turn that message around. And I think one of her strengths through artist development is, number one, allowing the artist to continue to be themselves and to not be afraid to put the message out, but also to put secondly, to put the artist in the best light possible, and to have some level of appreciation for the music to come across, instead of the message always leading to those dark places. She believes that Ozzy and his career has been a career that will encourage young people to confront their fears, no matter how dark, no matter how scared they may be, but to say, here's some power within you to actually remove that dark place out of your life and confront all of your fears head on. And then be creative in the process. Since she's been able to do that, Ozzy has been an appreciated icon. Over the years, his brand has become more valuable and his following continues to increase. He's received several awards, but I think the MTV EMA Icon Award is something very monumental because of the generation that fuels that type of awareness. And he is a household name for more than just radical music. He's now known as a father, a husband, and an artist. Sharon went on to sign the family up for reality television, and their reality show went on to be one of the most successful reality TV shows on MTV. They had a 3-year run from 2002 to 2005, and they abandoned filming due to health issues. Sharon has shared some of the lessons learned over the years have been to learn to marry your work. She believes that if you marry your work, then you fall in love with what it is that you're doing and it doesn't feel like work. She certainly is not fearful of the mixing business with pleasure element, having had married her artist. However, she is definitely a wise person and a great resource to speak on the topic of how to manage marriage and business. And she appears to have overcome any obstacle because she has a great legacy, a great family. Her first husband is her existing husband. And that in the entertainment industry is a true testament to how hard work and management of marriage, as well as a career, it actually can be done. Another lesson learned is to manage your own PR. I read in an article where she states that she knows that she's ugly, and being ugly caused her to develop a personality. In fact, it forced her to. And as an artist manager, it's very critical that we be tangible, relatable, that our personality can evolve with certain audiences. And I believe that that is a critical component to the success of your artist, and one of the keys to unlock doors to gatekeepers that have critical achievements, right at their fingertips for our artists. So I believe that this is a great lesson learned. Lastly, know when to move on. Throughout her career, Sharon has had to make critical choices. Some things that have led to 15-year gaps in her relationship with her father. They've even caused her to even leave Ozzy because of his choices with alcohol and drugs. But then some things have caused her to take leaps of faith, like with reality TV, that have led to further the careers of herself as a host on The Top, as also a judge on America's Got Talent, and her daughter into television as a fashion expert. It's very much apparent that when you know when to move on, you won't spend time in those areas that have sunset, but that you'll make room for new opportunities to have its own sunrise, and to allow for your career to take another entry into the marketplace, and free yourself to be reinvented, so that when you take a break from entertainment, you're always welcome when you come back. Thank you.